And now, an opening speech from your host, AB. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of AB in the Films. Well, it's Oscar night, still, and it must be a commercial since you're watching this right now. And now that I've got my Oscar right here, here come the satisfying films of 2013.
It's a wonderful night for Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. Who will win? The nominees for Best Picture are...
The Hangover Part 3. I like these movies, guys. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I like these movies. I thought Part 3 was pretty funny. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. Some people did. I'm one of those people. I laughed my ass off to the after credit scene that we all know. And man, I wish they would do Hangover Part 4. That could be Part 4. We could find out what happened. Yeah, it's the same thing they did in the first two, but yeah, that'd be interesting to find out how, Ed Helms got that, or those, I should say. Yeah, but Hangover Part 3, loved it. I thought it was a good ending for the trilogy. I still love it. Yeah, Hangover Part 3, I definitely recommend it. This is the end. Okay, originally I had a mixed review about this movie. I take back what I said about Jonah Hill being possessed, that not being funny. I take it back. I did that review 5 hours after I saw the movie for the first time, and I only went with my original instinct. But after seeing it again and again, and I own the movie on DVD, I still think it's one of the funniest movies of the year. I really, really did like this movie. I really do. I think it's really good. The last 2 minutes of the movie with the Backstreet Boys, that had me laughing. Who didn't laugh to that? That was so great. This is the end. Definitely recommend that movie too. Next one. Kick-Ass 2. Once again, I really like Jim Carrey in this role. I thought he was great as Colonel Stars and Stripes. He was the hit girl of this movie for me, because Hit Girl kind of gets a little bit upstaged in this one, because we see more of Minnie McCready than we do Hit Girl. I do like this movie. Aside from the shaky cam and a lot of those action scenes, I'm so sick of it. But I'm not here to rant. I'm here to talk about the good movies now. Kick-Ass 2. I thought it was a good sequel. They had a lot of interesting storylines in that one. It didn't do what the first one did, and I'm glad it didn't, because in respect, I think the first one is a little bit better. Yeah, it's better than the second one. But the second one, on its own, I think it's pretty good. It holds up. And all I can say is I can't wait to see Kick-Ass 3. Next one. Curse of Chucky. This has to be the best horror film of the year, in my opinion. It really is, because they go back to Chucky's roots. They make him scary again. They don't make him as this comedic one-liner kind of guy, you know what I mean? He's got the one-liners in there, obviously. That's who he is, but the movie was really, really good. It was exactly what I expected from a Chucky movie. This is the 6th one, and it's actually one of my favorites. It's up there. Like I said before, it's in my original review. It's like the even-numbered ones are my favorite. The odd-numbered ones are, okay. And I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not saying the acting is any good or anything like that. I thought Fiona Dourif was actually pretty good as Nika, the paraplegic. I thought she was pretty good. Brad Dourif, he's always good. That's Chucky. Come on, he's always good. It was definitely an improvement with Don Mancini for this, because I wasn't a big fan of Seed of Chucky. A lot of people, a lot of others weren't. On the whole, I thought Seed of Chucky was just okay, but this one was really, really good. I really loved it. I'm looking forward to Chucky number 7. Really looking forward to the next one, if they ever do a next one, which I know they will. It's been 25 years, people. If they're still making Chucky movies now, they're going to keep making them. So, aside from that, let's go to the next one. The Great Gatsby. I read the F. Scott Fitzgerald classic when I was in high school, and I knew the story. I have to be honest, when I went into this movie, I was falling asleep. I'm sorry. I was falling asleep. I really, like, when I went in to see this movie, I kind of forgot about the story. I did. I hate to say that, because this is one of the great classics. This is one of the greatest pieces of literature ever. Great Gatsby. I mean, it's in there with, like, it's up there with, like, maybe some of Shakespeare's best work. It's, like, in, like for American, literature, it's really something. But maybe it was Tobey Maguire's performance or something. I don't know what it was, but I'm not blaming Tobey Maguire for putting me to sleep. No, it was just. I mean, it took me a while to get into it. Wait until the movie kicked off, and once I had an idea about the characters and everything, then the story started to ring a bell, and I remembered it again. Really liked the acting in this. I am surprised. I don't think this movie's nominated for anything. I mean, I think it's the same guy that directed Moulin Rouge did this, and I'm not standing by Moulin Rouge. That's not a good movie. It's not good for me. Okay, I don't like Moulin Rouge, but this movie was actually really good. The one thing I didn't like about this was that the soundtrack. They tried. I think they tried putting modern music into this movie, and you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. But aside from that, small nitpick. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was great. I thought he would at least be nominated for this, but then again, Wolf of Wall Street came out 6 months later, and yeah, he knocked it out of the ballpark, but we'll get to that one later. Great Gatsby was really good. It was really a good story, and this was the first time, because I didn't pick this up as I was reading the book back in high school, but once the movie ended, and with the performances and how the story was going on, I understood why so many people like this story. And I don't have the words for it right now, and I don't want to basically make something up on the spot to tell you what it is, but all I can say is watch this movie, or read the book. I'm pretty sure you must have read the book at least at this point. Read the book or watch this movie. I really like this movie version. I really did, except the soundtrack. I wasn't crazy about that. But, yeah, Great Gatsby. Yeah, as Rodney Dangerfield said it before. He was great. The Lone Survivor. I heard about this guy, the guy that survived, Marcus, I think his name was. I heard him. He was on 60 Minutes one time, and I saw him talk about his experience there when he was fighting in the war and everything. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to go see this movie because I heard the guy's story on 60 Minutes. So what's the point of seeing a movie about it if you already know what happened? This movie was really. It was an affectionate movie. It really was. I haven't seen a war movie like this in quite a long time, and the fact that it was based on a true story, I mean, it was pretty powerful stuff. This movie, it was really something. And without giving too much away, I'm not saying this movie is something that you would like own on Blu-ray or anything like that. I mean, like this movie is a movie where I saw it once was enough, and I'm glad I saw it. It's one of those movies. But it's a really, really strong film, and it focuses on the friendship of these four guys who are just average Americans, everything, and they're going into the war, and they're going to fight and stuff, and it's just... And the last half hour is extremely strong. It touches on a lot of things, and I really really enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I enjoyed this movie a lot. And the last 10 or 12 minutes, you won't cry harder than ever when you watch those last 12 minutes. I don't want to spoil it for you, but man, I mean, let me tell you a short story here real quick. I wasn't going to go see this movie. What made me see this movie, what had my curiosity turned on about this movie, was I was in a movie theater one time and I was walking by and Lone Survivor let out. Okay, the theater was packed. It was opening weekend, and everybody was in tears. Everybody was blowing their nose. Everybody was like having those, as Dane Cook says it, pre-cry breaths. You know, it's like that, like right before. I'm quoting Dane Cook there. Dane Cook's great. But anyway, I'm getting really sidetracked here. But that really caught my attention. And I said to myself, wow, I mean, if a lot of people are emotional for this movie, I mean, like, everybody's, like, there must have been, like, maybe 40 or 50 people in the theater. I mean, it was a small theater, but everyone was coming out. They were all in tears. And I'm thinking, wow, that's something. I mean, maybe this movie is something. And I went to go see it the next week, and I was crying my eyes out. I really was. I'm not ashamed to admit it, because how can you not in those last few minutes of the movie? Mark Wahlberg, I thought he did a really good, decent performance in this. I thought he was really good here. But this isn't a movie where you can judge it on the acting. It's all about the story and about the friendships and everything that these guys have, and the friendships later in the movie, which I don't want to give away in case you guys don't know the story. I want to keep that as a surprise for you guys, because you guys, if you haven't seen this movie yet, and if you don't know the story behind this, just check this movie out. It's something. I mean, it's really hard to watch at times, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think this movie's nominated for, like, best sound mixing or something. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it was really well done, you know, especially when they're going down the mountain and everything. That was, I mean, you really felt like you were seeing that. I mean, I was sitting in my chair like, oh, damn, that must have hurt. Ugh. But it's still a movie, you know, and I was like, oh my God, like, it could have been really happening to these actors, you know? I mean, it was really powerful stuff. But Lone Survivor, yeah, really, really good movie. Very good. Gravity. Oh my gosh, this is gonna win. This is gonna win Best Visual Effects, people. This is gonna win. That's a no-brainer. No-brainer, man. This is gonna get Best Visual Effects. Sandra Bullock might get Best Actress for this. She might. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said in my Gravity review, I mean, I was stunned by her performance. Sandra Bullock can act. I mean, I've never been a real big fan of hers, but yeah, she was really good in this. I really believed her. I really wanted to see her get out of this situation of her being in space. The visual effects were so great. I mean, my movie theater that I live nearby, it came back. They brought it back in the movies for about a week, and my dad still didn't see it. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, you have to see this movie. This is not a movie where you can watch in 2D on your screen, on your television set in your house. You have to see this in IMAX 3D that our movie theater has. You have to see it. And he's like, I don't know. I don't want to see it. And I'm like, Dad, the visual effects. I mean, it's like something out of like the Franklin Institute or something. I mean, it's insane. I've never seen a motion picture with effects like this before. It was like, I kept asking myself the question, how did Alfonso Cuarón do that? How did the visual effects team do that? I mean, you believe like they're really in space. There wasn't one time in this movie when I said to myself, oh, they're in front of a green screen. No, you feel like you're in space. Not only you, but the actors. And it was so great. And there's barely any editing in the movie. I mean, like Alfonso, he moves the camera like as they're like floating through space. I mean, it's so well done. I mean, it was so good. I don't think it's going to get Best Picture, but, I mean, if it does, it does. But the visual effect, I'll be amazed if it doesn't get visual effects. But Gravity, yeah. One of the best films of the year. Definitely.